This wooden railroad trestle over the San Dieguito River is at the end of its service life. Sandag plans to build a new bridge in 2026. It would be higher to offset the effects of sea level rise and double-tracked to allow for more rail traffic. But the Del Mar City Council recently sent a letter to Sandag asking the agency to delay building the bridge while it looks at ways to move the railroad tracks off Del Mar's eroding bluffs.
Our City Council recognized that replacing this bridge before we know where the railroad tracks are going to be relocated in the railroad realignment is premature.
Del Mar Mayor Terry Gastelum says it's better to wait for the rail realignment plan to be finalized.
2 years ago, that we received $300 million from the state to do the environmental studies of realignment. And this bridge has been underway, but the assumption is that the railroad tracks would not move.
This bridge is over 100 years old, and there's a plan in place to replace it for years. It's also a nexus point for 2 rail realignment options that would tunnel underneath homes in Del Mar. Last summer, Sandag narrowed the realignment choices down to 3 options, A, B, and C. All of them involved building a tunnel to move the tracks off the coast. Option B and C would have the tunnel through Del Mar.
About 500 homes would either be above the tunnel or laterally next door to a house above the tunnel.
Gastelum says the better choice is option A, which would place the tunnel underneath the fairgrounds.
Which would basically render us unable to produce the San Diego County Fair.
Tristan Hallman is the spokesperson for the fairgrounds. He says construction for the tunnel would involve digging a trench through the middle of the fairgrounds. Sandag still has to choose an option for realignment, but federal and state money is already there for the new bridge. The fairgrounds has sent a letter of its own to Sandag, saying a delay in building the bridge could have consequences.
The region is going to lose the funding that we have set aside for this that is a very specific purpose. It's for this project, it's for the seasonal rail platform.
That seasonal platform would let riders off at the fairgrounds during special events. Gastelum says there are ways to extend the funding deadline, and the Del Mar City Council would help with that. A Sandag spokesperson says any action to delay the bridge project would need the board's approval. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.